Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Daily Shooter, and today what I want to talk to you guys about is basic sight adjustments. Okay, there are a lot of videos out there that are very confusing because they talk about long-range shooting and making certain adjustments. There's a lot of terminologies that really can just kind of build up on you and become very confusing. And what I want to do is just give you the basics. So if you're a new shooter, somebody who's just getting into the sport, or maybe you just never had to adjust a sight, whatever it is, and you just want the basic how-to. Okay, this is what I'm going to give you today, is just the basic how-to. And I'm going to talk about the two most common sights, or at least what I believe are the two most common sights. Iron sights, which would be the type of sight that you would find, let's say, on a pistol or something like that, okay? And then scopes. Now, there's a lot of different sights out there. There's red dot sights, holographic sights. They all kind of work off the same principle when it comes to adjustments. So, let me go over this real quick and show you the basics in sight adjustment. Okay, first things first, sorry about the crude drawing, but this is just the basics and I don't want to get too confusing, so went ahead and drew this up. Okay, so this is our scope, drawing of a scope. Okay, now imagine that this is pointing dead center on your target. So as a lot of you would recognize, a red bullseye would be in the center. So you're aiming the reticle, which is these two lines make up the reticle, and let's say you aim this reticle at the red dot at the center of your target. And the bullet ends up here. Okay, how do you make the adjustment to compensate for that? It's really, really easy. Your whole goal is not to bring or adjust the bullet up to the red dot. Okay, that's where a lot of people's thinking kind of gets them wrong, and I see it at the range. You don't want to bring that here. What you want to do is you want to bring the center, okay, of your crosshairs down here. So in doing so, what you do is you take your adjustments. There'll be adjustments on the top of the scope and on the side of the scope. Sometimes they're both on the top, but more than likely they're going to be on the top and the side. One will be for up and down, one will be for left and right. And what you want to do is, while holding your rifle steady at that center zero, you want to make your adjustments to bring it down here. So keeping your gun pointed in the same direction, you want to use your left, right, and up, down, and adjust your scope until it's shooting there. So you take your second shot once your scope is adjusted, okay, and it should hit that bullet that you had shot the first time. Once that happens, you simply bring your rifle and the scope back to the center where the red dot is, and you take your shot. Okay, it's a lot less confusing when you can just make your left, right, up, down adjustments. Now you want to have your rifle on some type of a rest so that you know that it's staying centered on that center spot. That's where you shot before, that's where you want to keep it pointing while you make your adjustments. Okay, so keep it pointing there, have some type of rest, some type of vise, whatever it's going to be. Make your scope adjustments down to that bullet. Once you have that hole and everything lined up, bring your scope back up to center, and your bullet should go center. It's as simple as that. That is something that you want to do at a range that you're going to be comfortable with. So let's say if you're shooting a rifle and you're comfortable at 100 yards, make your adjustments at 100 yards. Once you do that and every shot ends up around that center part, that's what they call zeroed. Okay, your rifle is now zeroed at 100 yards if that's what you've chosen. So it's very easy. That's how you zero a scope. Okay, now we'll move over to iron sights. Iron sights are also very easy, okay? What I have here is just, a basic little sketch of iron sights. This is your front post, these are your rear sights, and these are different spots where your rounds may hit. Obviously it can hit anywhere, but this is my representation. This is very, very easy as well. All of your adjustments are made with the rear sights. Okay, so the one thing you want to try and remember, and this is the easiest, now this is a representation of zero. Having the top of your front post aligned with the top of the back post pointing dead straight, that would be zero. Now if you're shooting zero and your hit comes here, it's easy. You just want to follow the hit. Okay, follow the hit. So if the hit is high, you want to take your rear sights and raise them up. Okay, if it's shooting left, you want to take your rear sight and move it left and move it right. Or, obviously move it down if it's shooting down. So what that happens is, as these rear sights move up, okay, if you want to get up to this hit here, if you raise up these rear sights, what does that force you to do with that front sight post? It forces you to raise the front of the weapon to meet that front sight post or the rear sight post with the front sight post. So it's very, very simple. You're hitting high, raise. You're hitting low, lower. It's all about that rear sight post. Okay, and keep doing this until you are hitting every single time. Then you have to make minor adjustments. Large adjustments may throw you way off and then you won't even see your hits on the target. Make those minor adjustments up on the rear sights, left on the rear sights until you're hitting your target. Now, you might hear somebody also talk about something called hold. Where am I holding? A lot of shooting videos, people will say, you know what, I'm zeroed in, but I'm holding high. Okay, so this is what holding is. If I'm zeroed at, like we had up here, if I'm zeroed at 100 yards, now I want to take the same shot at 150 yards, but I don't want to mess with my scope or mess with my sights. What I will do is take my sight and hold it up higher on the target. So if I know an extra 50 yards, let's say I'm shooting dead center and they're hitting 3 or 4 inches low, I'm going to hold high and take every shot high. So basically you've made 0 sight adjustments, you've just adjusted your hold. Okay, so your hold up here, the round hits here, that's where you would hold every single time. So just the basic terminology. Now I hope this helps you guys. This is just the basics, like I said, for the beginner, to help you sight in your firearm and get everything kind of, where you need to be at the range. Does take a little bit of time, does take a little bit of practice, so bring some ammo with you, and happy shooting.